Hello, my name is Teresa Croyd. I'm a naturalist with the Dorothy Pico Nature Center located in the northwest corner of Sioux City, Iowa. Our building is located in the Les Hills of Iowa, which is an incredible land formation and has very unique prairie habitat and wildlife. Our main focus of the Nature Center is to help teach people about the plants and animals and of course that special habitat. I'd like to take you on a brief tour of the building itself and hope that you can come visit sometime on your own to see our amazing trails and wonderful exhibits that we have here. All right, now I would like to teach you a little bit about one of our special educational animals that resides here at the Dorothy Pico Nature Center. This is Harlan. He is a permanently injured barred owl. He was hit by a car when he was hunting in the town of Harlan, Iowa, hence his name. He was rescued by some people and taken to SOAR, which is an organization called Saving Our Avian Resources. There they were able to take some x-rays and take care of him medically and realize that his humerus, that's the bone between the elbow and the shoulder, was broken. Since birds' bones are hollow, they do not heal as well as people's bones do. And he can now not fly as well as he should be able to. He can fly from branch to branch, but he is unable to get himself up off of the ground out in the wild. And on the ground is not a safe place for Harlan to be. So now we take care of him here at the Nature Center. SOAR, their ultimate goal is to return birds back into the wild, and they care for raptors of all sorts, everything from eagles, owls, falcons, vultures, and hawks. So if she does not have room to keep them there as an educational animal or ambassador, then they are passed on to other nature centers such as ourselves. So Harlan has some very, very unique features. Being an owl, one, the barred owl is a little bit different than most of the other owls. In Iowa and in the Midwest in general, there are roughly 9 species of owls. You can see some of those other ones behind me. Those are unfortunately birds that did not survive their accidents or possibly just died of old age. So there are winter visitors such as the snowy owl and the short-eared and long-eared owl. And then in comparison, we have our year-round residents that are pretty common, such as the screech owl, barred owl like Harlan, and the great horned owl. Those are probably the 3 most common that we see, and all of these have some great adaptations for being nocturnal hunters. The barred owl, like I mentioned, is a little bit different because he has very dark colored eyes, whereas the rest of the owls have that yellow or orangey iris. Some say that this has a little bit to do with when they actually hunt. Obviously, owls are more nocturnal, but it is believed that potentially the barred owl hunts earlier in the evening and then very early in the morning. So he's not maybe a true nocturnal bird in comparison to some of the other owls. I'm not sure. You'd have to do your own research. All right, so if we take a look at him, we can see he does have very, very large eyes in comparison to the size of his body. His eyes are fixed in position. As you saw, he turned his head. He likes to turn so that he can see things all around him. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get him to do that for me today. You can turn back and forth. If you take a circle that's 360 degrees, he can turn his head 270 out of those degrees. So he cannot go all the way around, but he can go most of the way. So that has to do with those eyes being fixed in place. So he needs to be able to turn his head to see things a little bit better. Owls also have more rods in their eyes. There are two different parts that help us see, the rods and the cones. So owls have more rods than they do cones. The cones help us to see color, and the rods are going to help you see variations of light. All right, so that's another reason why he can see so well at night and hunt for his prey. You can see him opening his beak a little bit there. He may clack once in a while. I think he's a little crabby today. I'm not sure he got enough sleep, or I woke him up from his nap. So he will open and close that sometimes when he's afraid, or maybe he needs to cool himself off, or he just may want to sound scary. Okay, he has the yellow, light yellow colored beak. Most of our other owls have a black or brown beak. Let's see what else is unique about his face. You can see those feathers that surround his eyes kind of stick out and make the shape of a bowl that helps to actually carry the sound into his ears, which you cannot see. His ears are located underneath all of his feathers. He doesn't have a flap or feathers for his ears. It's just that opening in his skull that helps him to hear things. Owls are very good at hearing things, and it's one of the main ways they hunt for their food, is they will sit and perch and listen for where that prey is coming from. Who knows what an owl likes to eat? They love to eat things like mice and other rodents. They will eat moles and voles. They can sometimes eat birds, such as other nocturnal things like nighthawks. They can catch bats. Some of our larger birds, like the barred owl, could even catch a small raccoon or possum, or maybe even a skunk. Now the barred owl would have to go after a young one, and it wouldn't matter that it was stinky because he cannot smell. Pretty amazing, right? You may be able to see when Harlan blinks, he has an extra eyelid there. It kind of has a gray color and comes diagonally instead of straight up and down. That helps to clean and protect his eye, especially if he were to hunt outdoors. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to see if you can see his talons there. Since Harlan is permanently injured, we do have anklets on his feet and jesses and a leash when we get him out of his enclosure, as he forgets that he can't fly very well sometimes and tries to get away. We don't want him to re-injure himself, so we always keep him tethered to our hand. His talons are what we call his feet. He has those long, sharp claws you can see. Show you how he can kind of fly. All right. So, and he has feathers that come mostly all the way down to the ends of his toes. That helps to keep his feet warm at night. His feathers are extremely soft, and we'll show you a little close-up of these feathers. They have these wonderful little edges on them called fimbriae that help to keep him very quiet if he were to fly at night and try to sneak up on his prey. Oh, you can see him panting a little bit. He might be a little warm. I'm gonna turn him around so you can see his beautiful back and tail there. That's gonna help him to balance if I were to move my hand. That's what they would also use in the wild for balancing and steering when flying. Okay, a little bit more about barred owls. And their habitat is they love wooded areas, especially with a mix of deciduous trees and coniferous forests. And they also like to have some water nearby. Barred owls are actually known to hunt frogs as well as other prey. Okay, we do have a population of wild barred owls here at the Nature Center that we have heard occasionally in the evening times or at night when we're doing a night hike. And we have even seen some evidence of wing and talon footprints in the snow last winter outside of Harlan's enclosure, which was pretty cool to see. All right, if you did not actually see a barred owl and you heard a sound at night, it would sound like, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" Let's listen. All right, thank you for joining me today. I sure hope you enjoyed learning about Harlan, our barred owl, and the Nature Center. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page where you can watch some of our other videos and learn more. Okay, next, we're gonna learn more about owl pellets and actually get to dissect a pellet from an owl. I really hope that you enjoyed learning about Harlan today and encourage you to come visit the Nature Center sometime. And if you have any other questions, you can always ask one of the staff that are here.